First pitch coming in at 4:40 p.m. for the World Series. Max Scherzer on the bump. Dynastic matchup between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves. A packed house here at Yankee Stadium, the cathedral of baseball, and here we go. First pitch to Otis. Otis with a fly to center. Otis Nixon delivers! Snow on the 1-2, going the other way. High fly ball, deep left field, and gone! And he shoots one to center. Diving catch out in center by Combs. Looks in for the sign. Here's the 2-2. Fly ball, right field at the track, at the wall, and gone! 3-1 count. Babe will swing at that offering. Deep center field. This one's got a chance, and it is gone! Babe Ruth. 515 feet out of the yard. Are you kidding me? I have never seen a ball go that far. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Croc goes the other way. Base hit. Stocker comes in to score. Another run comes in, and Dykstra scores. Phillies take the lead here in the 9th. They're up 5-3. If you look on the field right there, my mouse is over Jeremy Affeldt. He was jumping up and down on the first base line. Jeremy Affeldt, World Series champion in San Francisco. That is a walk-off. Otis Nixon delivering in the bottom of the 9th, lifting the Braves to the 7-5 victory on Monday Night Baseball. Yes. Club 42. Here it is. The brand new Club 42. All right, that's it. I'm just going to show you real quick, and then we're going to get back to the game. All right, so there we go. It is the new streaming setup. We are in Club 42 here today. And yeah, it's not official until it says Monday Night Baseball in the background. And that is it. Okay, so here's the deal. And I think all of you know how this works at home, but I'm just going to show you anyways. The way we do it is this. On your screen right now, over on my channel, Dr. Dynastic, if you haven't already done so, we would love to have you over on our community, as you should be going to all of the affiliate streamers. Ezra Denny is here. Dishnet 34 is here. EVC and NYC 2 is here. We also had a raid coming in from AZ Axel. AZ, thank you so much for that raid. And no apologies in advance. We will not be having marbles here today. But I do want to show you right here that our presenting sponsor for this game, for this matchup you're about to see tonight, is thanks to Danny D. Smith Jr. Danny, thank you so much for picking this matchup. If you'd like to join and make the next matchup of Monday Night Baseball, any 2 teams, any 2 eras, you get to choose over on my channel, DR Dynastic. DR Dynastic is where it's at. Okay. Oops, wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Let's get a professional. It is this one. Forget that one. It's this one. Completely different because it says Monday Night Baseball on the bottom. Okay. So this matchup, as you can see here, we're calling this. Oh, hold on. Let me move. How do we center this up here? I want to be able to see the Monday Night Baseball logo. Let's move this over. I got a little foot pad here. Boom. Oh, there we go. All right, much better. We are playing today. We are playing the 1989 NLCS all over again. Giants and the Cubs. Now, I don't need to tell you what happened in that. You probably know, because if you watch the World Series of 1989, you know that it was the Bay Bridge series between the San Francisco Giants and the Oakland Athletics. Well, Danny Smith wanted to rewrite history and wanted to see these two teams match up again, the Cubbies and the Giants. So that is what we're going to do. So we're going to do that. And Ezra Denny is going to have so much knowledge on this because Ezra is our resident San Francisco Giants fan out there. Is Cubs fan 23 Steve in the house? He is our resident Cubs fan. I know there are more Giants fans and Cubs fans out there. In fact, if that is your team, let me know in chat. Giants or Cubs? Either one. I don't want to hear who try to ball say Tigers. I'm not going to say A's. I don't want to see Minerva say Royals from EMLB. I just want to hear this. Just Giants or Cubs. And that's it. So this is going to be the matchup. It's the 89 NLCS all over again. I cannot wait to bring this game to you guys. Axe is going with the Cubbies. Axel is going with the Cubbies. I see Giants from Brent. Brent is going with the Giants. Los Gigantes. STL Jason. No Cardinals here. He's going with the Giants. And EVC is going for Cubbies. Dame is going with Cubbies. I love it. First time in the chat for Dame. Dame, I've seen you over on our channel. Cubgers says who tried to fall. Not better than the Tubs, combining the Tigers and the Cubs together. Right? Okay, so that's the matchup for us. And Lowry's going with the Cubs because I can't forgive the Giants for beating my Tigers years later. Okay. And as always, we love to show this off. Here we go. These are the spotting charts, guys. So I do prepare. I spend about 3 hours prepping notes, going through Baseball Reference, Wikipedia, anything else I can to get those notes. So a lot of times, obviously, I'll know things about the Giants, for example. That was my heyday, was the 1980s. And, of course, the Cubs. I remember Jerome Walton. I remember Andre Dawson, the Hawk, Mark Grace. The list goes on and on. But got to treat it like a pro. That's why we get exclamation mark professional. That's what we do. Ezra's going to make so many references, and only about 5% of them I'm going to get today. Okay, so sit back, relax. Tell me in chat what you're drinking. I'm doing a little Coca-Cola. Zero sugar. A Coca-Cola zero sugar. I would love to tell you that I'm a noble person and I don't do sugar, but the fact of the matter is that mini fridge behind me does not have any regular Coke left. So that's what I'm working with. Homemade lemonade. Hero Driver. I hope you brought enough for the rest of us. And there's Dynamic MLB with us. EVC is going to have a really hard time trying to decipher who is who. Which one's Dynamic and which one's Dynastic. I just saw Dynamic over in my channel. We were streaming earlier today. And I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Okay, so a little bit of background here for us. The Cubs did not make the World Series that year. The Cubs lost in the NLCS. So what we did was we had to tweak the rosters a little bit. We went with the Giants 1989 World Series roster, and they did make some moves to the Cubs that were very interesting in the postseason. Their roster was a little bit interesting in who they decided to carry. You'll be seeing that. So I did the best I could in reenacting the roster from 1989. This will now mark the very first time that we will have two teams in a rematch of a series that already happened. So we've had, one of my favorites was Babe Ruth versus Hank Aaron. You saw the Babe Ruth 500-foot home run in that game where it was, it was a mano-a-mano matchup, Babe versus the Hammer. We've also had two versions of the same franchise go head-to-head between the Washington Nationals, two teams that were World Series contenders. And we've had different matchups, but for the first time ever, we're going to have a rematch of the 1989 NLCS. And the reason before we go into this, I don't think I have it up on my browser anymore. But so the interesting thing about this was I was trying to come up with a title. And, you know, our first ever broadcast on Monday Night Baseball, if you were there for that, please raise your hand. The very first Monday Night Baseball matchup we ever did was right after Scott Rowland and Fred McGriff had been inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. And, of course, the new cards had just dropped related to those. So what I decided to do, Hero Driver was there. Good. And we saw you there. Thank you. Thank you for your attendance. Lowry, thank you. Hall of Fame game, Cardinals, Braves. Minerva was there. What we decided to do was we were going to have the two World Series teams from those respective players go head to head. Of course, Fred McGriff's or the best teams that they played on. Fred McGriff's 1993 Atlanta Braves. Remember, he was traded mid-season from San Diego to Atlanta, and then he took on Scott Rowland's St. Louis Cardinals team. They went head to head. So this is kind of an interesting matchup we're going to get here. So we've seen a little bit of everything here, and we're going to have history here. 1989 NLCS rematch. And I was there. I wasn't there for the game, but I was definitely watching with bated breath to see which of these two teams would play my Oakland Athletics. Now, I do want to let you know, I'm going to go ahead and put my schedule up on the scoreboard right now, because as you look at that schedule right now, you will notice game 2 of this World Series will be on my channel. I only have 2 hours to stream on the Out of the Park Developments channel here. So if you would like to see the continuation of this series tomorrow, this will be a best of 3 series. Cubs versus Giants. We'll be streaming that for you tomorrow starting at about noon Pacific. Something we like to call TAB, Tuesday afternoon baseball. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and roll a break from Out of the Park. And then when we come back, it will be the 1989 NLCS Redux.
24 years of excellence have all led to this. Out of the Park Baseball 24 is the definitive award-winning MLB strategy game. Play what the pros play. Out of the Park Baseball 24 takes baseball strategy to the next level like never before. All new on-screen analytics to power your decision-making, giving you a comprehensive view of the field. Dive deeper into the action with new 3D animations and visual improvements that bring the game to life. The most detailed GM mode in sports games keeps raising the realness bar. The most authentic experience ever. And Perfect Team swings back with a whole new experience. The incredible long-running baseball strategy series never stops hustling to be the best. Turn your team into a dynasty. Win the World Series. Out of the Park Baseball 24, the infinite baseball sandbox. Available March 2023.
All right, there you go, folks. If you haven't already done so, what are you waiting for? Out of the Park Baseball. Get it now. And if you use that link on your screen, you can get an extra 10% off. Of course, I don't need to tell you, you probably already have the game, as you should. Okay, let's get to playing a little baseball, folks. Hang on. Keep on pressing the wrong button. There's the right button. All right, folks, welcome to Wrigley Field in Chicago. It is the 1989 Field of Dreams game. Yes, from the year 1989, not only did the movie Field of Dreams come out in theaters, and we, of course, know Batman and other great movies came out as well, but, of course, Field of Dreams. So we know what the movie was all about. TLDR, guy listens to Korn. Korn tells him to build a baseball field, and then people came to play. We don't have a cornfield, but we do have a lot of baseball-hungry fans in Chicago who want to go back in time to the year 1989 and see their Chicago Cubs take them to the promised land. Of course, that would be the World Series. And that's corn with a C, not with a K, I might add. Well, San Francisco Giants would like to keep history the way it was meant to be written and take down the Cubs yet again. So we're going to have the Cubs of 1989 taking on the Giants of 1989. And folks, this is the pregame show. It's brought to you by, oh my goodness, I can't believe it, Cubs fan 23 Steve. Cubs fan 23 Steve. We're going to try to be unbiased with this broadcast, but right away you can tell there's going to be some shenanigans at Wrigley. This is a pregame show brought to you by Cubs fan 23 Steve. 1989. Chicago Cubs winning their second ever NL East crown here in 1989. Second division title in 3 years now. As they get ready now to take on, or excuse me, that was the Giants. Can we get a professional here? That is incorrect. But still their second ever NL East crown here in 1989. Meantime, for the Giants, that's who is coming off a second NL West crown in the last 3 years. Division titles for San Francisco in 1987 and now in 1989. Let's take a look at the weather here in Wrigleyville. And the game time temperature will be 52 degrees Fahrenheit. For those of you watching from abroad or in Canada, we do not have Celsius. We do not have centigrade for you, but we do Fahrenheit very well. 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind is blowing out to left at 11 miles an hour. All right, let's take a look at those starting lineups. They are brought to you by Hertz Donut. Next time you're in Cedar Falls, Iowa, you might just find really vanilla gorilla at Hertz Donut. Open 25/8. Want a Hertz? Hertz Donut, the best in Cedar Falls. Defensively for the 93-win Cubbies out of Chicago, champions of the National League East. You have Dwight Smith, Jerome Walton, and Andre Dawson, the starting outfield here tonight. Getting the start at third will be Luis Salazar. Up the middle, the 1-2 combo, Sean Dunston and Ryan Sandberg. At first, the Gold Glove first baseman, Mark Grace. And behind the dish, getting the start is Rick Rona. He'll be catching tonight for the great Mad Dog, Greg Maddux. Maddux, another splendid year this year in Chicago. 19 wins, 12 losses, and a 2.95 earned run average. Offensively for the visiting San Francisco Giants, Butler, Thompson, the Pacific Stock Exchange, Clark and Mitchell batting 3-4, followed by the young sensation, Matt Williams batting 5th, followed by Kennedy, the Candyman, Maldonado. Can we get some candy in chat? And Jose Uribe batting 8th, and the pitcher, Scott Gereltz, will bat 9th. Those are your starting lineups. And I neglected to tell you the pregame weather report was brought to you by Lost Duck TW. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a Lost Duck TW. Okay, we're going to catch our breath when we come back. Your first pitch live from Wrigley Field. And back from commercial break as we bring you 89 Field of Dreams between the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. Not a seat to be found here at Wrigley Field. On the 0-2 pitch, Maddox's pitch, strike 3. Brett Butler goes down on strikes. The Butler did not do it. First pitch brought to you by Chess Safari. It ain't checkers, it's chess. Chess Safari, that is. So 1 up, 1 down as we get a strikeout to start this one. So Greg Maddux moving right along here, doing what he does best, and that is get people out. Maddux, a sub-3 ERA this year. Strikeout total, relatively low for Maddux in these 238 innings pitched, 135 strikeouts. You do have to think at 23 years old, he's going to get even better as his career goes on. I would not be surprised if we start seeing some 200 strikeout seasons from Greg Maddux, but so far he has got a lot of finesse and he knows how to induce outs. Robbie Thompson will now be the batter for the Giants, who led the National League in triples in the 1987 season. 11 triples during the 87 season for Robbie Thompson. 2-0 pitch from Maddux, grounded through the left side, and that's a base hit. So Robbie Thompson with a one-out single. Number 2 overall pick for the Giants in 1983. Let's have another look at that hot shot through the left side, past a diving third baseman Salazar. Replay being brought to you by Kushil RM. And that brings up the thrill himself, Will Clark. Fantastic season for Clark, 333 average. Wound up missing the batting title by just a fraction of some points. Wound up losing to San Diego's Tony Gwynn on the very final day of the season. Will Clark with one aboard and one out. Pitch gets through the catcher, Rick Rona. It's a passed ball charged to Rona. And Thompson goes to second. Now, interesting decision by Don Zimmer and the coaching staff for the Cubs. They decided to carry 3 catchers on the playoff roster. Of course, there are 2 others here for the NLCS. We're talking about Joe Girardi and Damon Berryhill. But right away, Rona letting a ball slip through his glove, and it's a passed ball. So Rona puts a runner now in scoring position. Clark digs back in, full count pitch to Will. Let's see if he gets a strike here. He will not. Probably a wise decision on the part of Greg Maddux with first base open. But, of course, you could argue that's maybe not so brilliant with a man who just beat out Will Clark for the 1989 National League Most Valuable Player Award. Yes, it's Kevin World Mitchell. Mitchell with a monster breakout season in 89. Look at those numbers. 47 home runs and 125 runs batted in. Will Clark finishing second to this man, Kevin Mitchell, because of those gaudy statistics. 2 on, still just 1 out with Mitchell at the plate. Kevin Mitchell, full count pitch. And he smacks this. Right field. This will go into the corner. That should score a run as they'll bring in the runner. Dawson throws back in. Thompson comes in to score. And it's an RBI double for Mitchell. In fact, Mitchell will get 2 to come in. 2 runs come in to score. Mitchell all the way to third. And it's a 2-run double for World. Kevin Mitchell. Another look here as he goes the other way into the corner. And even Andre Dawson in that cannon arm out and right could not get the second run from coming in to score. 2-run double for Kevin Mitchell. So the Giants on the board on a 2-run base hit by Mitchell, who now stands on third for Matt Williams. The man of many nicknames, Matt the Bat, the Big Marine, my personal favorite, the Carson Crusher. First pitch offering, check swing, and he'll bloop this to left, coming in, and making the grab is Smith. Play at the plate. Throw home, not in time. It's a sacrifice fly. Kevin Mitchell comes in to score, and the Giants are out to a 3-0 lead. My goodness. All Giants here early on. Terry Kennedy back at the plate now. His first plate appearance, .239 average, 5 home runs on the year. up against Maddox, who is in trouble. 2-2 pitch from the Mad Dog. Ground ball smothered by the shortstop, Sean Dunston, who throws to first, and that will do it. But the Giants score 3 as we head to the bottom of the first in Chicago, Illinois, with the Giants on top 3-0. All right, folks, that was a look at what's going on in this week in Out of the Park Baseball. Welcome back to Wrigley, where the Cubs have dug themselves into a 3-0 hole against the San Francisco Giants. Defensively here tonight for the Giants, it will be Mitchell, Butler, and Maldonado, the Candyman, out and right. Around the horn we go. Williams, Uribe, Thompson, and Clark. Terry Kennedy behind the dish. For the ERA leader of 1989, Scott Gereltz will get the start. Not only did he lead the National League in earned run average in 1989, also the best winning percentage in the NL, 14 wins against just 5 losses. Scott Gereltz on the bump for the Giants. For the 89 Cubs, their offense will look like this. Couple of NL Rookie of the Year contenders. They actually finished 1-2 in the NL Rookie of the Year chase. We're talking about Jerome Walton and Dwight Smith. Right in between that Rookie of the Year sandwich, of course, the great Rhino, Ryan Sandberg, batting second. Cleanup tonight will be Mark Grace. The veteran Andre Dawson, former Montreal Expo turned Chicago Cub. Dawson will bat fifth. Luis Salazar batting sixth. Dunston in the 7th spot. Rick Rona, the catcher, batting 8th. And the pitcher, Greg Maddux, will bat 9th. Those are your starting lineups here tonight in the 89 Field of Dreams Classic. So Jerome Walton ready to go up here as he beat out not only Dwight Smith for that 89 Rookie of the Year award, but also Greg Jeffries. How many of you have a Greg Jeffries rookie card? How's that working out for you? So Jerome Walton will lead things off out of Georgia, Noonan High School in Georgia. Jerome Walton, fantastic rookie year. You can see the numbers on your screen. 293 average with 5 home runs and 24 stolen bases. Walton to lead off, up against Scott Gereltz. Converted reliever, now a starter, now an ace. On the 1-0, grounder to the right side. Will Clark will take that unassisted. And there's 1 out. All right, so quick work as Walton is retired. And that brings up Ryan Sandberg, the pride of Spokane, Washington. Went to high school at North Central High School. Standout football player in high school as well. And of course, you know the story probably about Rhino. Wound up getting drafted despite a commitment to play football at Washington State University. He's going to be a quarterback at what they call Wazoo in Pullman, but wound up getting a $20,000 signing bonus from the Philadelphia Phillies as a 20th round selection. Well, Rhino took the money and ran. Ryan Sandberg now in Chicago. The 0-1 to Rhino. Rhino with a grounder. One hopper fielded cleanly by the shortstop. Nice play by Uribe. Jose Uribe, and quickly 2 down. And now it's Dwight Smith, the runner-up in the NL Rookie of the Year award. Dwight Smith out of Tallahassee, Florida. Played college ball. Spartansburg Methodist College back in 1983. Junior College World Series. Dwight Smith. 2-2 pitch to Dwight. He goes the other way. Laces a base hit to left. So Dwight Smith wraps the first single of the night for Chicago and their first base runner. Smith on first. 9 steals in 13 attempts in the 89 season. And now it's Mark Grace at the plate. Second big league season for Grace. Hit .296 as a rookie in 1988. This year, over 300 at .314. A little bit of pop this year, too, with 13 round trippers. Got Gereltz pitching from the stretch. The 0-1 with the runner going. Throw down to second will not be in time. Dwight Smith with a stolen base. And the Cubbies have a runner in scoring position for Grace. Mark Grace. First plate appearance. Now with a chance to get the Cubbies on the board. Gereltz looks in for the sign. Fly to left. That will do it. Side retired Cubs strand a runner in scoring position. And at the end of 1, it's San Francisco 3 and Chicago 1. All right, folks. How are we looking so far? What do we think? Wait, did I just say Chicago has a run? I meant 0. That's what I get for having Cubs fan 23 Steve as our presenting sponsor. Back for inning number 2 at Wrigley. It will be the bottom of the Giants order. Maldonado, Uribe, and Gereltz. Yandy Maldonado leading things off. Former Los Angeles Dodgers came over to San Francisco a few years ago, back in 1985. For Alex Trevino, impending free agent. We'll have to see if Maldonado takes the money and runs or if he stays at Candlestick with the Giants after this 1989 season, which, as many have pointed out, it is an odd year, and the Giants tend to do well in the odd years. Here's the 3-2, or do they? In fact, they don't. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Maldonado down on strikes. Greg Maddux records his second strikeout. Now that brings up Jose Uribe. Jose Uribe, amateur free agent, signed with the New York Yankees back in 1977. Uribe on the 2-2 pitch. Uribe, ground ball. There's Dunston. Diving stop, throw to first is in time. So Uribe is retired, and that brings up Scott Gereltz. Gereltz 9 hits and 66 at-bats in the regular season. And here's a 2-2 to Gereltz from Maddux. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That is a strikeout. Brought to you by Podman 19. Experience the ultimate getaway. Book your trip today to America's finest city, San Diego, with Podman 19. All right, back now for the bottom of the second in Chicago. It has been all San Francisco so far. They hung 3 on the board in the first inning, and they'll get the top of the order here when they come back in the third. Well, for the Cubbies, it will be Dawson, Salazar, and Dunston. Andre Dawson, just 2 years removed from that remarkable MVP campaign. Huge season that year in 1987. 49 home runs, 137 RBI for Andre Dawson. There is the line on his season, folks. Not too shabby. Andre Dawson, the Hawk. Childhood nickname, Andre Dawson. 2-2 pitch. Dawson, the Hawk, goes down swinging as Gereltz plucks his feathers. Quickly one down. Now it's Luis Salazar. Salazar coming over to Chicago. And when we say last minute addition to the playoff roster, we mean it. Came over on August 31st, literally just minutes before the postseason rosters had to be filed. Luis Salazar came over by trade, traded to San Diego, then Chicago. Twice he's been traded in the same year. Salazar at the very end of the deadline coming over to Chicago. Here he is, starting third baseman in this Field of Dreams matchup. Luis, a .282 hitter on the year. Salazar, ground ball to third. Matt Williams is there, throws to first. And he's out. Salazar is retired. That brings up Sean Dunston, former #1 overall pick out of New York from the Bronx. First ever #1 overall draft pick out of the New York City area. Answer to a trivia question right there. Sean Dunston, his first plate appearance. First pitch coming from Scott Gereltz, who is cruising. Sharp grounder, shortstop. And Uribe is there to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. 2 innings in the books. The 89 Giants still on top, 3-0. Top of the Giants lineup as they are enjoying a non-October evening in Candlestick. Of course, one of the coldest places out there. Maybe Ice Planet Hoth, a close second to Candlestick on an October evening. The temperature here in Chicago, 52 degrees. Wind is blowing out to left. That could be a factor in this one. Of course, when you're talking Brett Butler, maybe not so much. Brett Butler not exactly prone to putting the ball up in the air. Just 4 home runs this season, 36 career home runs. Of course, we've seen things in the past on Monday Night Baseball that would suggest those the balls tends to fly off the bat of the light hitting guys a little bit more often than not. Brett Butler is at the plate, and 2-time league leader in triples. Brett Butler, he still's got some motors, folks. Still got some wheels. Led the league his first time out in 1983 with the Atlanta Braves. We'll show you the stats on the screen. 13 triples in his first full big league season. That led the National League with the Atlanta Braves. That wound up being his final season in Atlanta with the Bravos. Then in 1986, just a few seasons later in Cleveland, he wound up hitting a league best 14 triples. So Brett Butler leading both the National League and American League in triples in separate seasons. Butler to lead things off. He works the count full, 3-2. And he smacks a single right up the middle. Brett Butler, the leadoff man, is aboard. And Butler should have the green light here. 31 stolen bases, though Butler has twice led the league in caught stealing. So you do have to watch out for that. He's at about a 2 out of 3 clip, which according to Meatloaf, I guess ain't that bad. 31 stolen bases, 16 caught stealing. Twice in his career, though, he's led all of baseball in caught stealing. Brett Butler on first for Robbie Thompson. Robert Randall Thompson played college ball at the University of Florida. A Florida native playing in Chicago against the Cubs here. Robbie Thompson. Runner going. He'll lay down the bunt. Perfectly placed down the chalk. A nice bunt there by Thompson to move Butler into scoring position. And now here comes Will Clark. Will Clark, former 13th rounder. Well, that's actually not right. I'm going to fire my stats guy. I'm getting word I'm the stats guy. That's my bad. I guess I'm fired. But I can tell you that, you know who would know what round Will Clark was drafted? Ezra Denry. Ezra, if you're in the house, let us know. Golden Spikes winner at Mississippi State. Part of that Thunder and Lightning pairing. Of course, we're talking about Rafael Palmeiro. Can you imagine those two in the same lineup on the same team? Two Major League first basemen, Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro. Clark batting from the left side against the righty, Greg Maddux. Here's the 1-2 to Will. And Clark hits a drive to right center field. This one will one-hop off the ivy in right center. Will Clark is heading for third. Will Clark with an RBI triple. And the Giants have a 4-0 lead. He smoked that Greg Maddux offering. Here's another look on the replay brought to you by FDA Waugh. Well, the thrill is not gone yet as he gets an RBI triple. Will Clark. And before you start talking about a very slow or encumbered first baseman, need I remind you that Will Clark actually had 9 triples in the 1989 season. He also had 8 stolen bases. Will Clark has legs and he knows how to use them. Kevin Mitchell now steps in. First ever All-Star season for Kevin Mitchell in 1989. Monster year on the way to MVP honors. Maddux looks in for the sign from Rona. From the stretch. Pitch to Mitchell. Mitchell strokes a single up the middle. 5-0 Giants. The rout is on against the Cubbies. Nice piece of hitting there by Mitchell. We talk about his propensity for hitting home runs, but my, oh my. He'll be content to get an RBI single there. 5-0. Giants cruising. And that is going to do it for Greg Maddux. A Beetle Boy 911 emergency call to the bullpen. Greg Maddux doesn't make it out of the third. The new pitcher, now Steve Wilson. We'll introduce you to him when we come back. All right, stunned silence here in Chicago. New pitcher for the Cubs. It is Steve Wilson. Wilson, 53 appearances in the 1989 season. His second full season as a big leaguer. Came over from the Texas Rangers. Steve Wilson on in relief. The lefty versus the righty. Interesting that manager Don Zimmer would bring in a lefty arm against the righty Matt Williams. Matt Williams, former 27th round pick of the New York Mets, wound up saying no thank you to that. Went to UNLV for 3 seasons, 3 standout seasons, I might add. And that belief in himself paying off to the tune of a number 3 overall pick by the Giants in 1986. Matt Williams with 1 on, 1 out. Williams going the other way. That's a base hit to right. That'll move the runner over as Mitchell advances to second. So the parade continues for the Giants. Now it's TK, Terry Kennedy. Came over in January of 1989, traded by the Baltimore Orioles to San Francisco for Bob Melvin. Terry Kennedy adding some veteran presence behind the dish. Terry Kennedy at the plate, .239 hitter on this 1989 season. And he'll ground a short. This could be 2, 6, 4, 3 on your scorecard. It's a double play, and it's brought to you by Dono, 43-333. 2 runs come in as we head to the bottom of 3 in Chicago. Catching up on chat, Lowry says, true story. Will Clark's answering machine used to say the thrill is gone. That is a great story. Whether it's true or not, I still love it. And Minerva says not even 3 innings washed. Is this one over before it even began? Bottom of 3 at Wrigley. It will be Rona, Wilson, and Walton. We'll see if Wilson stays in or if Don Zimmer decides to go to the bench, get a pinch hitter in this situation. Rick Rona to lead things off. And yes, Cubs fan 23 Steve has entered the chat. He is the sponsor of our pregame show. Cubs fan 23 Steve. Rick Rona leading things off. Up against Scott Gereltz, who staked to a 5-0 lead. There's a liner, and it's caught by Will Clark. So Clark, right place, right time. He is retired. All right, we will get a new hitter here. Mitch Webster, pinch hitting in the number 9 spot in the order. Mitch would be a fantastic pinch runner, but in this case, they're just going to go straight to the bat of Mitch Webster, the lefty bat up against Scott Gereltz. Cubs need base runners. They need them quickly. Gereltz from the windup. 2-2 pitch by the ERA champion. Scott Gereltz with the strikeout. Notoriously bad pitcher with a big lead, Scott Gereltz. We'll have to see if he's able to focus here, lock it in. Playoff atmosphere in Chicago. October baseball, Field of Dreams matchup between the San Francisco Giants and Chicago Cubs of 1989. Jerome Walton, former second-round pick out of Enterprise State Community College in Enterprise, Alabama. First Cub to win a National League Rookie of the Year award since 1962. The great Ken Hubbs that year, the top rookie in the NL. And Walton smacks one deep to left, but this one is not going to have enough giddy up. It is caught by Mitchell out in left. Side retired, and after 3, the Giants blanking the Chicago Cubs 5-0. All right, folks, we'd love to hear if you're getting those pack drops, how those drops are working out for you. Remember, silver pack drops throughout this stream. We're about an hour in. We'll be going until at least 6 p.m. We'll always give you the full 2 hours to get those drops every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific. It is time for a Beetle Boy emergency call to the bullpen. Interesting call here. Mike Bielecki, a 18-game winner, will relieve the pitcher Wilson. So Bielecki will come in, which means he may not be in the rotation for at least game 2 of this best-of-3 series. Bielecki out of the bullpen. Up against Candy Maldonado. Maldonado, free agent year, walk year for him. Best year came 2 years ago in 1987. Maldonado that year, 292, 20 home runs, 85 RBI. I didn't know OPS not necessarily a thing in the year 1987. But I just want you to look at that 855 OPS. Numbers have significantly decreased since then. Numbers dropping significantly from 292 to 255 and now 217. Home run numbers as well from 20 in 87 to 12 in 88, and then single digits, just 9 home runs during the 1989 regular season. Bilecki, the righty, up against Maldonado, the Candyman. Maldonado grounds to short. Sean Dunston is there. Throw to first will be in time. 6-3 in her scorecard. And now it is Jose Uribe. When this series goes over to Candlestick, Game 2 tomorrow on the Dr. Dynastic channel, you will probably hear a chant that goes something like this. On one side of the field at Candlestick, you'll hear a ooh. And then on the other side, yep, you guessed it, Uribe. Ooh, Uribe. No such chant here in Chicago. A lot of blue in the stands, not a whole lot of orange. Jose Uribe. First pitch offering. Uribe flies this to center. Can of corn by Jerome Walton. Quickly 2 down. And now it's the pitcher Scott Garrelts, who's having a magnificent night on the mound, but not so magnificent at the plate. He is now 0 for 2, and that'll do it. Heading to the bottom of 4 in Chicago, Illinois. Rhino will lead things off for the Cubs, who find themselves down 5-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ryan Sandberg. Interesting story about Rhino. Drafted, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, 20th round by the Phillies in 1978. But the Phillies didn't see Rhino as the shortstop of the future. They saw more as maybe a third baseman or a second baseman. Now, problem was they had Manny Trio at second base and a guy by the name of Mike Schmidt at third. So the Phillies infamously traded Rhino along with Larry Bowa for Ivan DeJesus, considered by many to be one of the worst trades in Major League history. Ryan Sandberg, future Hall of Fame second baseman for the Cubs. Here's a 2-2 to Rhino. Sandberg lifts a fly ball to left, and it's a base hit. Cubs have their second hit of the ball game. Sandberg with his first. And now it's a number 3 hitter, Dwight Smith. Dwight Smith, the youngest of 4 children. His father passed away when Dwight was just 7 years old. Born and raised in Tallahassee, Florida. Smith batting from the left side. Payoff pitch on 3-2. He lifts a fly to center. Brett Butler is there to make the catch. Sandberg retreats back to first. There's 1 down. And going back to the Sandberg story, and remember too, they had in what they believed for the Cubs, they felt like they had the shortstop of the present in Larry Bowa, and then maybe somebody who would be the shortstop of the future in Ryan Sandberg. They figured they would trade Bowa to get Ivan DeJesus and get even a bigger upgrade at shortstop. Well, the Phillies had to give up something else besides Bowa for DeJesus. And they went back and forth, the Cubs and the Phillies did. And there was nobody else that Chicago was interested in as far as prospects go. And they insisted it's Ryan Sandberg or nothing at all. So he was truly just the add-in player. Now, Philadelphia reluctantly gave up Ryan Sandberg, but if you could go back in time, and we do go back in time every Monday night at 4 p.m. Pacific with Out of the Park Baseball, if the Phillies could go back in time, my goodness, they would say, oh, heck no on that trade. Sandberg and Bowa for DeJesus? Each don't think so. And now here's Mark Grace. Mark played baseball and basketball in high school. two sports standout at Tustin High School in Southern California. Drafted out of Tustin, 15th round pick at the age of 19 by Minnesota. Didn't sign, stayed in, and was drafted out of San Diego State by the Cubs in 1985. Our greats with a fly to right, base hit. Maldonado scoops it up, but it's a clean single to right field. So the Cubs now have two aboard, and the rally is on for the Hawk, Andre Dawson. Three-time All-Star with the Expos. Led the National League in hits in 1983 with 189. Now a three-time All-Star in Chicago. Six-time All-Star between Montreal and Chicago right now. 2 on, 1 out. Geralt's in first trouble, and he gives a fly ball to center. That one will fall in. Base hit, and they will hold the runner. Sandberg to third, did not score. They didn't try to test the arm of Butler. Bases are now loaded for Luis Salazar. Salazar, former amateur free agent signing by the LA Dodgers back in 1978. Really, the Cubs' hopes hanging the balance in this at-bat. Got to avoid a double play. Got to at least get a run in. Break up this shutout against Scott Geralt, who has been sterling until this fourth inning. Bases loaded. 1 out. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball. Third base. Throw to second. On to first. And they will get the double play. My goodness. Salazar grounds into an inning-ending double play. 5, 4, 3 on your scoreboard and your scorecard. Cubbies leave them stranded as we go to the fifth. All right. We're going to have to take a break here. We got to get an emote race going on here. I think some of you are going to be raging a little bit after that inning-ending double play. So maybe you could just take out your emotions on a race here. Let's go ahead and load that one up for you. Good old emote race. What do you say, guys? Emote race is on, folks. I'm going to count you down. The rules are on your screen right now. You see 3 magnificent emotes. At the top of the screen, you see a siren. EVC and NYC2. One of his very famous, iconic emotes is, of course, the siren, bringing you the sounds of New York City every Monday. Well, he can tell you what the streaming schedule is, but it's there up on your screen right now. That is the emote. Bottom of the screen right now, there's a black kitty cat. That may look familiar. It's a fluffy kitty ninja from the FK and Kamish LB streams. And in the middle, shameless self-promotion. It is the wave. It is the wave on the Dr. Dynastic channel. So it's pretty simple. You'll just spam chat with your favorite emote. Not your favorite streamer, because we're all tied for first in the hearts and minds of the Out of the Park Developments community. It is, who do you want to win? Ready, set, go. All right, let's see those emotes here in the emote race here. And they're off, and it looks like the siren is going to be out to the early lead. Oh, and there is some kitty cat action as well. And there's a big old wave. Oh, boy, look at this. They are going down to the wire. It's going to be close. Who's going to win it? And it is going to be the siren. Siren wins. Siren wins. Oh, boy, what is this thing on here? Siren wins. Congratulations to the Sirens and EVC in NYC2. Boy, another photo finish. Looks like we'll have to see if the Dynastic Wave can get redemption tomorrow on Game 2 of this best of 3 series on the Dr. Dynastic channel. And That channel right there. I've got to plug the channel. There it is. Give me a follow. In fact, if you follow, we'll give you a shout out on the stream. Well, there it is. The emote race. Congratulations, ABC and NYC too. Boy, oh boy. Cito has a little bit of everything. Collect them all. Collect them all. And folks, if you do get all of your drops before the 7th inning, stay tuned for that. And we're still looking for your picks. If you got a dandy picture, we'd love to share it on our stream. Just head over to my Discord. You can check that out on my channel. Just go ahead and look for the link. Discord invites are open, and we always share pics of you guys over during our 7th inning stretch. Get to know your fellow out of the parker. Top of 5 here on Monday Night Baseball. Brett Butler, your leadoff man, up against Mike Bielecki, who will remain in the game. This is going to be interesting, folks. If Bielecki gets a pitch count up, will he be available as a starter for game 2 or 3 if necessary? Almost feels like you're fighting a lost cause here if you're down 5-0. Unless Don Zimmer is perhaps just contemplating not throwing Bielecki as a starting pitcher, period, which would be interesting. Taking a look at the rotation, how that would work. Mike Harkey would be an option. No, he only pitched in 5 games. Rick Sutcliffe would be another option. Looks like it's lining up that he'll be the game 2 starter. But Bielecki, if this holds, Bielecki, there's no chance he would be a game 2 starter. Then you're looking at game 3. That is, if there is a game 3. Have to wait and see. Butler to lead things off for the Giants. Interesting note about Brett Butler. When Roger Clemens burst onto the scene as a rookie for the Boston Red Sox in 1984, first batter the Rocket ever faced, this man, Brett Butler, then with the Cleveland Indians. Butler up against Bielecki, 2-2 pitch. Grounds this to short. Sean Dunston is there to make the play. Butler is retired, 1 down. Speaking of debuts, Robbie Thompson made his major league debut in 1986. An inauspicious start for Robbie that year when he was caught stealing 4 times in 1 game. First player in Major League history to be caught stealing 4 times in 1 game. Now, in Robbie's defense, 3 of those caught stealing came on botched hit and runs. Not all on him, but Thompson caught stealing 4 times in 1 game. Thompson on the 1-1 from Bielecki. Robbie Thompson into the hole. The shortstop Dunston backhands it, throws to first, and Thompson is retired. And now it's back to Will Clark, Golden Spikes winner at MSU. Also playing for the Olympic team in 1984. Will Clark, first pitch on the way to Will Clark. High fly ball, deep right center field, and it is out of here. Into the cheap seats in right center. The thrill is gone. Out of the yard. Home run, Giants, 6-0. No doubt about that one. Another look on the replay. This home run being brought to you by ESCV, the ultimate destination in baseball escapism. 434 feet out of the yard for Will Nushler Clark. So Noosh strikes. Solo shot. Giants on top, 6-0. Now it brings up Kevin Mitchell. Kevin World Mitchell. Got that nickname very early in his playing career by his former Mets teammate, Gary Carter. Gary Carter, the veteran catcher who'd seen a whole lot of everything in his major league career. calling him World because of his ability to both play in the infield and the outfield. Mitchell, of course, now playing exclusively outfield for the Giants. 1-2 to Mitchell. Harmless ground ball to shortstop, and Sean Dunston makes the play. But the Giants hang another run on the board, heading to the bottom of 5 in Wrigley. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Gen Xer 69. If you would like to be a sponsor of any of our ad drops during the broadcast here and on my channel, just subscribe to the channel and you'll get those name drops. Gen Xer 69 bringing you this out-of-town scoreboard. We've got an update on PT, on Perfect Team. D. Mendro says one of his drops scored a live diamond. Yes, you're welcome for those extra points. Scott Gereltz on the hill protecting the 6-0 advantage against the Chicago Cubs. Gereltz, fun fact, wearing number 50 this season. Gereltz, a man of many numbers, has now worn 6 different numbers in his 8-year career, all with the Giants, by the way. First number as a rookie, 43, then switched to number 32, then 54, then back to 43, then 31, and now number 50, Scott Gereltz. Against number 12, Sean Dunston. 3-2 pitch to Sean. Sean lifts a fly ball deep to center field, just shy of the warning track as Butler makes the grab. So 1 up and 1 down. Rick Rona now steps in. Rick Rona. One of 3 catchers on the roster. Don't know about that decision now for the Cubbies. They could use an extra arm, not an extra glove. Rick Rona on the 1-2. Gereltz gets him swinging for strike 3. Scott Gereltz cruising, gets his 3rd strikeout. And now we'll get a pinch hitter, Vance Law. Vance Law at the plate. Started his major league career in 1980 as a spry 23-year-old with the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2 seasons in Pittsburgh before trading those stars for a little bit of the black and white in Chicago, wearing the stripes for the White Sox in 1982. Of course, back in the early 80s, they were not wearing those stripes back then. Then a few years north of the border in Montreal with the Expos. And now Vance, long arm of the law, is at the plate. Pinch hitting in the number 9 spot in the order, which means Bielecki's night will be over. Grounder to short. Easy play. And the side retire. And that'll do it at the end of 5. It's San Francisco 6 and Chicago nothing. All right, let's see if we're getting those drops here. 460 of you watching so far. Thank you guys for tuning in here on Monday Night Baseball. We are bringing you Monday Night Baseball every Monday on stream, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time. 4 p.m. Pacific, 4 to 6 every Monday night. Tell you what, I'm going to even make sure I'm getting those drops as well. So hang on, sit tight for just a moment. Streamers got to get drops too, you know. We are people too. Actually, we are robots. We're not humans. We are robots. Okay, let's get back to baseball, please. All right, Matt Williams, your leadoff man for the San Francisco Giants as we're in the 6th inning. Scott Sanderson, another emergency call to the bullpen. Sanderson, 37 appearances in 1989, 23 appearances, or 23 starts, I should say. Sanderson on in relief. Quick look at the scorecard right now for the Cubbies. Not a good line for the starter, Greg Maddux. 2 1/3 innings, 5 runs all earned on 5 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He was relieved by Steve Wilson in the 3rd. Wilson retiring 2, giving up just 1 out. 1 hit, I should say. Mike Bielecki going 2 innings. 1 hit, 1 run. Of course, that was a home run by Will Clark. 17 pitches for Bielecki, so it will be interesting if Bielecki ends up getting the Game 2 nod tomorrow in San Francisco. Cavicom prefers the Vin Scully voice over the robot voice. Cavicom, if you just invoke the voice of Vin Scully. Now, we do this every night on our stream, every day and morning, where you have to use your channel points to redeem the Vin Scully voice. But this one's on the house here on the Out of the Park Developments channel, since they don't do channel points. Matt Williams, leadoff man for the Giants, as we're in the 6th inning on a cool and breezy evening in Chicago. And Matt Williams, 1 for 1 on the evening. He does have an RBI, driving in 50 runs during the regular season. We also want to remind you that over on the Dr. Dynastic channel that we do points redemptions for other celebrities as well. Chief among them, of course, you have Arnold Schwarzenegger. And we also had an appearance by Morgan Freeman just last week. We invite you to enjoy the 6th inning of baseball with Vin Scully. That's me, Vin Scully. Just going to remind you, just in case you don't know, that I'm Vin Scully. There's a fly ball to right. Matt Williams, not enough giddy up on that baseball. The rawhide is caught out and right by Andre Dawson. And now here's Terry Kennedy. Kennedy, a .239 hitter on the year. Kennedy, a 2-time All-American and Sporting News Player of the Year in his college days back in 1976 at Florida State University. 2-0 pitch from Sanderson is grounded into second base. There's Ryan Sandberg. He'll make the play. I understand Dean Mandro wants a Samuel L. Jackson R-rated version. That might just be a little bit too hot for us here on the Out of the Park Developments channel, but I will just say, for Dr. Dynastic, he would probably tell you, say what again? I dare you. I double dare you. English, do you speak it? Scott Sanderson from the windup up against Maldonado. Candy lifts a fly to center, and that'll do it. Folks, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you on Monday Night Baseball. I understand that my good friend Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to come here for the bottom of the 6th. All right, before we bring in Arnold Schwarzenegger, quick programming announcement. You can catch Vin and Arnold and Morgan Freeman and all the celebrities on the Dr. Dynastic channel. That is DR Dynastic. DR Dynastic right up there on the top of the scoreboard. We will be streaming tomorrow, Game 2 of this best of 3 series. W Wishy, want to thank you for following over on my channel. Thank you so much for the follow. And I do understand my services have been rendered useless as we have a new announcer for this next inning. Hello, all you girly mans out there. It is me, Arnold. We're here for the 6th inning between the Cubs and the Giants. It's going to be Jerome Walton leading off. Jerome, not very big. He does not have big muscles, but he moves very fast. He's got cheetah legs. He can run really fast. And remember, when you slide, you must get down, because Jerome Walton will lead off against Scott Gereltz. I'm stealing Dr. Dynastic's notes here. I want to tell you all about Scott Gereltz. He was telling you last inning about all the numbers. Who cares about what number you wear? I'm going to tell you all sorts of things about Gereltz, the things of that nature. We'll tell you he was not an all-star in 1989, but he was in 1985. when he was 23 years old. 23. I remember what I was doing at 23. I was making Hollywood blockbusters. I was Conan. I was the Barbarian. I was a weightlifter. I was Mr. Olympic. I was all of that. Scott Garrelts did okay. 9 wins. He had a 2.30 ERA in 1985. Good for you. That is not a big deal, Scott. Get over yourself. Jerome Walton will bat against Garrelts. That's a base hit. It will get down for a base hit onto left center. Chill out. Walton with a base hit. Now it's Ryan Sandberg. You remember that guy, Dr. Dynastic? I let him go. Ryan Sandberg at the plate now. He's a second baseman. I eat second baseman for breakfast. The 0-2 to Rhino. See, so does Scott Garrelts. He eats him for breakfast. Garrelts is another strikeout. That is four strikeouts for Garrelts. White Smith now at the plate. White Smith played football and baseball. He was not a weightlifter, but he did play football and baseball at Wade Hampton High School in Vaughnville, South Carolina. White Smith. 3-1. Fly to center. Is caught by Brett Butler. Butler with the catch. Hasta la vista, baby. I must go, but first we need Mark Race. Mark Race. Ground ball, second base. Ah, he dropped it. Thompson, Robbie could not get to the chopper, could not get to the ball. Mark Race now on the first base. Jerome Walton on second. And look at this guy. Look at Andre Dawson, the Hawk. Could have used him in Predator. Could picture him with a big crossbow and some hand grenades, things of that nature. He's a good baseball player though too. Dawson. I did not eat his Wheaties. He has struck out, and that will do it. I am out of here. Hasta la vista, babies. Arnold saying goodbye. Get out! Doc is coming back. Hey, Doc, which button do I push here? Did not know all these. Usually have a button pusher for me. Which one do you want me to push? Do this one. Arnold Schwarzenegger has left the building. Here's a look at the Out of the Park Developments streaming channel. I understand this is the last time we're ever going to be able to do Monday Night Baseball. I understand there's a lawsuit pending from Arnold and Vin and the Scully family for butchering their impersonation so badly. I do not have a Cavacom impression yet. Maybe a visual impression of Cavacom, but I don't have a voice impression. I don't like to impersonate people I know. Because what you do when you impersonate any voice is you try to find that little identifiable thing. And when you see it and hear it, you feel seen. And I would never want to do that to somebody I know and like. Sorry, Cavacom. If I didn't like you so much, I'd do an impression. All right, top of the 7th at Wrigley. Here we go. Jose Uribe, your leadoff man. Jose with an even 100 base hits in the regular season. Uribe will lead things off against Scott Sanderson. So, Jose Uribe, interesting, his path to get to San Francisco. So back in 1985, Jose Uribe traded by the St. Louis Cardinals in a massive trade, along with Dave LaPointe and others, to Jack Clark. The slugging Jack Clark in a 5-player swap back in 1985. Now, as Jose Uribe was traded, he was known then as Jose Gonzalez Uribe. Now, by the time he arrived in San Francisco and the deal was consummated, he had dropped the Gonzalez and was known as Jose Uribe. So, as you can call him, the ultimate player to be named later. Jose Uribe. Up against Scott Sanderson to lead off the 7th. Uribe grounds to first. Unassisted is the first baseman, Mark Grace, and there's one down. Scott Gereltz will stay in the ballgame. Roger Craig, the skipper, already sending a clear sign he wants Gereltz to stay in this contest in his 6-0 ball game. And every out that Gereltz gets out on the mound, that means one less out that he'll have to put a reliever. So he can save some arms. He's got plenty of arms to choose from in that bullpen. It's a very solid bullpen. But Roger Craig would like to keep those bullets out of the chamber a little bit. He'll keep them in reserve just in case for game 2 and 3 if necessary. Gereltz works the count full. 3-2 up against Sanderson. Called strike 3. Sanderson gets the strikeout. Sanderson's first. Back to the top of the order we go now. And it's Brett Butler. Butler coming over to San Francisco as a free agent before the start of the 1988 season. After a nice run with the Cleveland Indians. Brett Butler. Butler works the count full. He'll bloop this to left. Coming in to make the catch is Dwight Smith. And it's time for the 7th inning stretch, folks. Who is ready to go? Let's do this thing. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Folks, sing along at home and say hi to all your friends here on Out of the Park Baseball, Monday Night Baseball. On the scoreboard right now, and my favorite will always be this one. Who Trying to Ball? And I would need to know if Who Trying to Ball is in chat right now. It was in Oakland on Saturday for the Tigers-A's game, and that man always seems to end up on camera. Did he end up getting that beautiful, beautiful mug airing on the broadcast? We need to know. I need to know what inning so I can frame grab that thing and put it on my stream. And folks, a reminder that during the 7th inning stretch, if you go over to my channel, Dr. Dynastic, DRDYNASTIC, not Dynamic, ABC and NYC, to Dynastic, send your picks over to my Discord. If you send a pic of you, I would love to share it on Monday Night Baseball and through our broadcast as well on my affiliate channel. And Minerva, that is not an ugly mug. You have a beautiful, marvelous mug. Marvelous. All right, folks, it is time for the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubbies still trailing by 6-0. Salazar, Dunston, and Rona, your scheduled batters for the Cubs. Interesting path for Luis Salazar in his major league career. Signed as an amateur free agent in 1978 with the Dodgers. But before that, he was actually signed by the Kansas City Royals back in '73, also as an amateur free agent. He was released just a year later. Then he was signed as a free agent by Pittsburgh. Well, he wound up eventually being traded to San Diego back in 1980 for, and here's a name from the 80s, folks, Kurt Bavacqua. Kurt Bavacqua. Then in 84, Luis Salazar traded to Chicago along with Ozzie Guillen. Of course, we're talking about the White Sox, not the Cubs, back in 1984. Then in 1987, signed with the San Diego Padres as a free agent. Then, a year later, a free agent once again, signed with the Detroit Tigers in 1988. Then he was traded to San Diego and then Chicago, both times traded in 1989. The well-traveled Luis Salazar. Keep that name handy anytime you are looking to play a little bit of the Immaculate Grid. Luis Salazar. Salazar to lead off here in the bottom of the 7th against Scott Gereltz. Gereltz, lone All-Star appearance coming in 1985. As a reliever that year in 1985, Scott Gereltz at one point pitching 24 consecutive scoreless innings. Now here in 1989, his final line, 30 appearances. You see 29 starts. That meant one relief appearance. Now here's the interesting part about Scott Gereltz here in 1989. He actually missed a full month of this season, pulled hamstring, and during that time, Roger Craig decided, I want to try him out as a starter. I want to put him in the rotation. How does Gereltz respond? Well, after that, 14-5 and an NL best 2.28 earned run average. Scott Gereltz, former reliever, now ace pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, their ace in Game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Luis Salazar up against Gereltz. First pitch to Salazar. Salazar, diving catch made by the shortstop. Nice play by Jose Uribe. Another look on this replay. Brought to you by Minerva. Nice play indeed by Uribe. And you can hear that, ooh, Uribe chant all the way from San Francisco on that one. John Dunston now at the plate. Dunston is 0 for 2 so far, a .278 hitter on this 1989 season. We mentioned Larry Boa earlier in the broadcast coming over to Chicago. Larry Boa and Ryan Sandberg coming over in that controversial trade for Ivan DeJesus with the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, Dunston comes over to Chicago as a #1 overall pick in 1982. Trying to break through out of spring training, competed with Boa for the starting shortstop role. And Dunston, for a short time, actually had that starting job, then struggled and was sent down. Came back up, though. Played much better in that 1985 season. So much so that the Cubs went all in on Sean and all out on Boa. Wound up trading Larry Boa, and Dunston has been the starting shortstop ever since. Here's a 1-1 to Dunston in a 6-0 ball game. Dunston going the other way. Diving grab out and right. What a play by Candy. Candy Maldonado, the Candyman, with a robbery out in right. What a grab. That robbery being brought to you by R.K. Brasi. The Candyman can indeed. Candy Maldonado stealing away extra bases from Dunston. I mean, the way that was angled, I'm almost thinking that could have been 3. Let's take one more look here. If that catches the ivy just right, Dunston might have a triple. Instead, it's a harmless fly ball out. That brings up Rick Rona now, our 5th rounder in 1985, Rick Rona. Started his major league career in 1988 last year, 0 for 6. Now 92 at-bats here in 1989. Rona pops one up on the infield, and it's caught, and that'll do it. Through 7 innings. Field of Dreams matchup, all Giants. 6-0 your score. And yes, the commish has entered the chat. FK and commish LB. LB, it's great to see you, my friend. 2, 3, 4 in the Giants order. Thompson, Clark, and Mitchell. Robbie Thompson Standout second baseman. Made his major league debut in 1986. Thompson wound up being the runner-up for the National League Rookie of the Year that year. The man who beat him out, St. Louis Cardinals closer Todd Worrell. Todd Worrell. 0-1 from Sanderson. Thompson gets into that one. Flyable ball, center field. That one is caught. Jerome Walton covers a lot of ground out there in center. And now it's Will Clark. Will Clark, who, of course, famously in his first major league game, his first swing as a major leaguer, up against Nolan Ryan, no less, took Nolan out of the yard. Of course, that's a well-documented debut, but what many people forget about Will Clark is that later, in his very first game as a Giant at home at Candlestick Park, Will Clark also homered. But Will Clark making quite the debuts in that rookie season. First ever major league at-bat, first swing, home run. Then, later in that very same 1986 season, Will Clark in his first game at Candlestick also stuck a home run. One in the Astrodome, one at the Stick. Will Clark. There's a reason why they call him the Thrill. Clark gets into that one, right center field, off the wall. Will Clark, who already has a home run in this one, now with a double. Will Clark has been all over the park. And folks, could we see a cycle for the first time on Monday Night Baseball? Will Clark doubling there in the 8th, a triple in the 3rd, and a home run in the 5th. All he needs is a single. He may just get another at-bat and a chance to do just that. In the meantime, it's Kevin Mitchell now at the plate. Mitchell already with 3 runs driven in this one. Mitchell goes down swinging. There are 2 down. Have we ever seen a live stream of Out of the Park Baseball with a cycle? Love to hear that. We've got a lot of streamers in chat, affiliate streamers. I don't know. Have we ever seen a cycle on the mothership? And then have we ever seen one on an affiliate stream? Matt Williams now at the plate. Began his major league career in 1987 as a shortstop. Of course, he's been holding down third since then. Matt Williams goes down on strike. Sanders gets a strikeout. Clark is stranded on second. And that'll do it as we head to the home half of the 8th. All right, folks, we've got about 20 minutes left in the stream. We will be doing things. We will be doing some fun things. Here's a look at our schedule. That is my broadcast schedule. I am sorry. It's the rundown. That's what I want to show you. Here we go. That is a look right now. We're going to be doing this 1989 Field of Dreams game. We call it that because the Kevin Costner classic, dare I say one of the best movies Kevin Costner has ever been in, Field of Dreams, was in the box office in 1989. And of course, these two teams were seen tonight, the Giants and the Cubs, 1989 NLCS rematch. We do want to thank the person responsible for this matchup. This is Danny D. Smith Jr. Danny, thanks for dreaming up this matchup. If you'd like to be the title sponsor and decide a future Monday Night Baseball matchup, go over to my channel, Dr. Dynastic. Check it out. Check out the Club 42. The Club 42. That's where we're broadcasting from tonight, and you can decide the next Monday Night Baseball matchup. All right, scrolling back through chat. Ezra says he's never seen a cycle. Cavicom, I only do World Series walk-off box on his streams. The commish LB come close. Andrew Benintendi missed the triple on our last broadcast to get one. So yeah, let's well, we'll find out. We'll find out. We would love to see a cycle, which statistically is a rarer occurrence than a no-hitter. And we've nearly had no-hitters on stream as well. I would love to see a cycle. Just saying, if you're watching, if you're with Out of the Park Developments, maybe you can hack my code to make sure that Will Clark gets that single. But first he needs another at-bat. It's going to be a tall order because the Giants have Kennedy, Maldonado, and Uribe as the scheduled hitters in the 9th inning. So they would need to get base runners, and it's the bottom of the order to do that. And none of the scheduled hitters has a base hit. Kennedy, Maldonado, Uribe, and Gereltz right now, a combined 0 for 12. So the middle of the order and the top of the order for the Giants has been fantastic. Clark 3 hits, Mitchell 2 hits, 5 RBI among that Pacific Stock Exchange, but no production 6, 7, 8, 9 in the order. Scott Gereltz remaining in the ballgame here in the bottom of the 8th. Pinch hitter Lloyd McClendon into the ballgame. McClendon coming over from the Reds here in 1989. McClendon, 286 hitter this year with 12 homers and just 259 at-bats. And Underdog, absolutely get that reference too. We know what you're talking about, right? Now, this would be that game, but of course, Greg Maddux did not end up staying in this contest. But this would be the point in the contest where, on a mound visit, Greg Maddux famously talking on the mound during that conference, and Will Clark waiting in a crucial part of that game. This was in Game 1 of the NLCS in 1989. Will Clark very famously looking dead on at Greg Maddux and lip reading fastball high inside. He read it, he jumped on it, and he capitalized. Now, how much truth is there to that story? You will hear conflicting versions of that story. But Will Clark, the legend of Will Clark, really starts with that sequence up against Greg Maddux. Wound up giving up a grand slam to Will Clark in that Game 1. Cubs wound up losing, and the rest is history. Lloyd McClendon pinch hitting here to start this 8th inning. Gereltz on for inning number 8, and he dials up a fastball. He'll get the strikeout. 6 Ks now for Gereltz in 7 1/3 scoreless innings. Now it's back to the top of the order for Jerome Walton. Walton with a 30-game hitting streak this year on his way to NL Rookie of the Year honors. And had a fantastic NLCS in 1989 where he hit .364. 1-2 pitch to Walton. Walton with a base hit up the middle. Jerome Walton with his second base knock of the ball game, the 6th for the Cubs on the night. And we do mention the final line on Greg Maddux. Now, this is a best of 3 series that will continue tomorrow on my channel. Maddux with that quick hook, we could see more of him. He did throw 57 pitches. So our sideline reporter there, Ezra Denny, pointing that out. So we'll have to see if we do see more of Greg Maddux. And now here is Ryan Sandberg. Rhino trying to charge one here. He lifts a fly ball to center. That'll do it. Easy play by Butler. And there are 2 down. Now it's Dwight Smith, who finished 2nd in Rookie of the Year ballots to Jerome Walton. 1-2 punch, Walton and Smith. Boy, the future looks very bright for the Cubs, does it not? 1-2 to Smith, and he'll go down swinging. Strikeout number 7 for Scott Gereltz. We head to the 9th at Wrigley. Who's ready for a Dukes of Hazzard reference? Jeff Pico trade is the new pitcher as we begin the 9th inning. An emergency call to the bullpen. Jeff Pico comes on in relief for the Cubbies. 5th pitcher of the night for Chicago as Don Zimmer has emptied out the bullpen. Pico will go up against Kennedy, Maldonado, and Uribe. Now, for all intents and purposes, this game might just be over. So a lot of viewers are now coming into this stream, and we understand there's 386 of you. Boy, shame on you if you were among the 460 and you left, because you're going to miss a chance at seeing baseball history. A rare playoff Monday night baseball cycle. Now, the Giants are going to have to do a whole lot of hitting and a whole lot of base running to make that happen. But they have Will Clark, who has a double, a triple, and a home run. Folks, he is one single away from the cycle. But can the Giants get to Will Clark in the order? Terry Kennedy to lead off against Jeff Pico. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch to TK. Kennedy with a base hit up the middle. Giants one batter closer to getting to Clark. Now it's Candy Maldonado. Candyman hitless in 3 at-bats so far, but he had a gem of a play out in right. Took away extra bases from Sean Dunston. Kennedy on first for Maldonado, the 1-1. Weak ground ball, second base. They will get the force at second, on to first for the double play. 4-6-3 on your scorecard. Here's your replay. It's brought to you by Barry Basher 11. Giants now conceivably down to their final outs. Jose Uribe, first pitch to Uribe. Uribe, sharp grounder to third. Nicely played by Luis Salazar. The side retired, so Will Clark's date with history now depends on the Cubs scoring 6 to force extra innings. Heading to the bottom of the 9th in Chicago. All right, it will be Grace, Dawson, and Salazar for the Cubs. Scott Gereltz remains in the contest. Gereltz has thrown 106 pitches so far, 8 shutout innings, protecting a 6-0 lead. Mark Grace at the plate. And 3-2 pitch. Grace grounds to second. Robbie Thompson is there. Throws to Will Clark. There's one down. And now that brings up Andre Dawson. Andre Dawson, former center fielder with the Montreal Expos. That's how he started his major league career way back when in 1976, but played on that infamous AstroTurf in Montreal at Olympic Stadium. And that created all sorts of knee problems for Andre. He wound up having to move from center field where he couldn't cover as much ground. They had to put him out in right. But he's been a staple ever since. Andre Dawson, right fielder, 6-time All-Star here through 1989. 3-time All-Star with the Expos, 3 more All-Star appearances with the Chicago Cubs. 2-2 pitch to the former MVP as he flies this one to left, and it's going to go over the ivy and out of here. Andre Dawson breaks up the shutout. Cubbies are on the board. A little bit of energy here in Chicago as the Hawk himself, Andre Dawson, puts it out of the yard. Another look here on the replay. Being brought to you by Don't Cut the D Block Dragon. 417 feet out to left center field. Game on a hanging slider. First run surrendered by Scott Garrelts. Still a 5-run cushion for the Giants as Luis Salazar steps in. 282 hitter on the year. Salazar hitless in 3 at-bats. First pitch, Salazar bloops one over the shortstop. Uribe couldn't climb the ladder, just out of his reach. And Salazar has a 1-out single. We understand some of you are turning your monitors backwards. The rally monitors are on in Chicago. And Rick Russell will get the call to the bullpen. An emergency call to the bullpen brought to you by Beetle Boy 911 as Scott Garrelts finally starting to show some cracks. Garrelts out after 8 1/3 as he gets the hook, and in comes Rick Russell. Russell, a 17-game winner, 2.94 earned run average. Big Daddy Rick Russell trying to finish this one off. Russell from the stretch up against Sean Dunston. Dunston grounds back to Russell, throws to second, and they'll turn the double play. And in the Field of Dreams Classic, it is a field of nightmares at Wrigley as the Cubs come up short in a rematch of the 1989 NLCS. The Giants take it 6-1. All right, folks, 6-1 your final score as the Giants take down the Cubs. They take game 1 of this best of 3 Dynastic series. Game 2 will be tomorrow on my channel, noon Pacific. Let's bring you up to speed on the post-game show. It's brought to you by EVC and NYC2. Join EVC every Wednesday for Guess the Set on Twitch. 2 p.m. Pacific every Wednesday, only on Twitch. 367 of you on for this post-game show as we take you to the top of the hour. And Will Clark, the thrill himself, 3 for 3, 3 runs, 2 RBI, a double, a triple, and a home run. He had 1 walk. And boy, if Will could go back to that plate appearance where he walked, sure he wishes he could have gotten a single instead of a walk to complete the historic cycle. Came up just 1 single short. Meantime, Kevin Mitchell, big game for him too. He drove in 3. He had 2 base hits. That's all the offense the Giants would need, as Scott Garrelts will pick up the victory. The ERA leader of 1989 gives up just 1 run on 8 hits while striking out 7. The lone run coming on an Andre Dawson home run with 1 out in the 9th. Rick Russell getting the final 2 outs in a non-save situation. Russell with those 3 pitches, you have to think he could be in line for a Game 2 start. We'll see what happens tomorrow on Tuesday afternoon baseball. Greg Maddux got torched in this one. 2 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned. Maddux also walking 1 and striking out 3. Scott Sanderson, nice job out of the bullpen for him as he goes 3 scoreless innings, giving up just 1 run, 1 hit, and striking out 3. Player of the game is Will Clark as the Giants of 1989 win the Field of Dreams 89 matchup, 6-1 the final. All right, we got 3 or 4 minutes left, so let's take a look at the rundown, see what I promise, see what we can do. Get you those drops to the top of the hour. And yeah, we got PT Live. Yeah, I actually need to do the PT Live. So we'll go ahead and leave this game. And want to tell you again, look, here's the schedule right now. Nope, that is the wrong one, Doc. Come on, this one. Boom, the old double punch. Okay, so Game 2 right now. Let's finish this. So tomorrow, it looks like it will be Kelly Downs versus Mike Harkey. Every once in a while, out of the park, and the AI goes interesting. They go with the best pitcher, not statistically, but just with the best arm that it thinks, and that will be the little used Mike Harkey will be the scheduled starter tomorrow at noon Pacific. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the main screen. Let me just take a break here, folks. I'm going to run an ad, and when we come back, we'll do a PT Live roster and lineups. And if you haven't already done so, this might help you. And I think one of the most underrated and fun parts of At the Park Baseball. And of course, we're talking about PT Live. So with that, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
24 years of excellence have all led to this. Out of the Park Baseball 24 is the definitive award-winning MLB strategy game. Play what the pros play. Out of the Park Baseball 24 takes baseball strategy to the next level like never before. All new on-screen analytics to power your decision-making, giving you a comprehensive view of the field. Dive deeper into the action with new 3D animations and visual improvements that bring the game to life. The most detailed GM mode in sports games keeps raising the realness bar. The most authentic experience ever. And Perfect Team swings back with a whole new experience. The incredible long-running baseball strategy series never stops hustling to be the best. Turn your team into a dynasty. Win the World Series. Out of the Park Baseball 24, the infinite baseball sandbox. Available March 2023.
All right, Monday Night Baseball continues as we'll now load up. Here we go. Oh boy. Okay, so looks like we're going to get the double pack today for PT Plus with the double gold coming around the bend. Getting those silver packs. Awesome. And who enjoyed those triple packs? Who got in on the triple packs on the Dish stream this weekend? That was freaking awesome. Awesome. Gosh, I almost want to look at how we're doing here, but let's it's not. You're here for PT Live. That's what we're going to do. So raise your hand in chat. Have you guys ever done PT Live? Who does PT Live? And more importantly, who doesn't and is going, what is PT Live? Can you please tell me what this PT Live is, Doc? Go ahead and fire up the PT Live. And let's first of all look at our leaderboards. This was yesterday, Sunday. Let's see who won Sunday. Cubs fan loves him some PT Live. Is also really good at PT Live. Look at Cubs fan. Number 3 in the month of September so far, 8,922 points so far for Mr. Steve himself. Yesterday, Shoes wound up getting 451 points. Now, PT Live these past few days have been interesting because, of course, of the rainouts and rain cancellations and all of that. So that has been interesting. If somebody would be so kind as to let us know what the weather report is looking like tomorrow. What it is looking like tomorrow. I got 242 points, tied for 457th. And let's see where we are overall. 390th for yours truly, Dr. Dynastic. And we'll go look at those past rosters too. It looks like we didn't get anything from Naylor or Baum. I had to play a lot of kind of guys I don't normally want to play, but because of limited choices, we did. Rain for AZ at Chicago, it looks like. Okay, thank you, Steve. Well, as long as I can start playing my big bats, I would love that. Let's go ahead and set our live roster very quickly. And we'll go ahead and clear most of this out. We'll definitely clear out our starting pitchers. Now, you cannot always trust, unfortunately, the Out of the Park game as far as scheduled starters go. It's always recommended that you look at the scheduled starters For me, I'm going to use ESPN.com, but there are definitely other options as well, and there are media partners as well to use. Fangraphs, I believe, is one of them. So we'll go ahead and look at the scoreboard and look at Tuesday lineup. You want to make sure you get those lineups in by, I believe it is 10 a.m. Pacific time. You need to get those lineups in by 10 a.m. All right. Daily silver has just started. Daily low. And let's go ahead and look at our starting pitchers. Projected starters. Boy, big series for the Mariners. And obviously must win for the M's. Playoff chase coming down to the wire. They'll be playing against Houston. The Astros have their own motivations. And at this point in the season, you're probably looking at some mismatches, right? Some teams that are out of the pennant chase and start playing their expanded roster guys. But first things first, you got to play Michael King. And let's see if he's actually scheduled starter for the Yankees. Yep, Michael King. That's a must start. So this is where you steal the points. When you get these relievers who are actually now starting pitchers. So we'll go ahead and take, I don't know, let's take Seawald out. If the game at Guaranteed Rate Field for the White Sox is looking like a rainout, we'll take Seawald out. And we will put Michael King in. Oh, let's go Breedab. Let's go. 50K for Breedab. Livestock, a lot like me, just started paying attention to it about a week or so ago. I will be honest with you, I probably only started paying attention the last few weeks. So I am late to the party. But arming myself with information for next year because I know I'll be playing next year. Starting pitchers, let's see if there's any other relievers who could start tomorrow. Zach Thompson, is that true? Zach Thompson, yes. At Milwaukee. That is always a good bet. Let's see about that. I'm just going through the last three starts. Zach Thompson has not pitched great, to be honest with you. Pretty much every number looks exactly the same. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. Almost every single time. This guy is like the no, not Cespedes. I'm thinking of Chris Davis for the Oakland A's, where the numbers just keep on repeating. It's crazy. Okay, the numbers just keep on repeating. But even with those results, he is getting strikeouts, and with that, he is getting points. And most importantly, he's given 5 innings. Any other relievers out there? That looks like the guy. So we'll go ahead and hang with our guy, Zach Thompson. And Steve, if you sent me a whisper, thank you. Let's see, is that on? I'm assuming that's my channel. There it is. RotoWire. Okay, RotoWire. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Steve with some knowledge. I love that, look, we are all about trying to win, but I love the fact that we are totally cool with sharing tips with everybody and being inclusive to the community. That we all sit on information, but we're happy to share it best we can. Let's go to now different starters here. So who would be a good one? Zach Eflin is going to be a must start. He is not showing. Eflin is not showing. And I know I have him. Wow. Don't miss out on that one. Zach Eflin. That guy has been crazy good. Let me just look up how good he has been for me. This is a bad performance for him. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. His last time out. But according to ESPN.com, he is the starter. Zach Eflin tomorrow. I want to make sure I have the right day. Tuesday. Zach Eflin against Boston. Okay. Yes, please. And thank you. Now let's go back to only starting pitchers projected. Steve, how's your boy Justin Steele looking? Is that a start for us? 16-5 for Justin Steele. A fantastic name, by the way. He's given up 6 runs in each of his last 2 starts. Now he is playing at Atlanta as well. I don't know if that's a good start. Yeah, you're nervous, but you are starting him. Well, I think this is an opportunity for us to kind of sit back and not use a gold arm, maybe. And remember, you are capped. You can only use 2 perfect, 3 diamond, and 4 golds. I'd like to keep those. I'm already using a gold and a diamond for my pitchers. Maybe we find somebody else. Bradish scheduled to start. He is. Look up Kyle Bradish. Oh, 6 shutout innings against Houston on the road with 9 Ks. Bradish, yes, please. Bradish, yeah, that is a great start right there. I'm loving that start. Okay. Now we need to work out all of our position players. I like this. So Eflin, Bradish, Thompson, and King. Don't forget doubleheader. Thank you for. Let me look at that. So you want to let's prioritize that in Colorado as well. Okay. Well, let's look at catchers first. Want to check filter teams, uncheck projected starters. Do we have either the Rockies or Dodgers catchers? We have Elias Diaz, though he probably won't play both those games in a doubleheader. I don't know. What is the trend for catchers and doubleheaders? Feeling great about that. Diaz did play yesterday at Wrigley. 0 for 3. Diaz might be one. Do I have Ober? Bailey Ober might be. Look at that. Play the matchup. Bailey Ober. Cubs fan says Diaz did DH yesterday. That's good. If not for the fact that Bradish has been pitching so well, I would do that. Against the A's, D. Mendra, that is a fantastic start. Play the matchup, right? The A's have been awful. I would argue the Red Sox haven't been great either, though. All right, I like Diaz. As you mentioned, could DH in one game and catch in the other. Elias Diaz. We're going to go ahead and throw that in. Let's look for a first baseman next. And again, let's get those double headers in best we can. Well, Matt Olson might just be a must start. I don't have Freeman. I'm gonna have to play Maddie anyways. Now here's the thing for Steve. I had Freeman before my PT Live days, just like many of us, and I sold Freeman. So that's a card I would keep now. Next year, I'll keep a card like that, obviously. I'll keep one of every live next year, without question. Second base, we're, well, first of all, let's get the must-ins there, right? Let's go with our right field situation. We've got Mookie Betts in Colorado. Are you joking? Like, that is a must. Like, we gotta play Betts for 2. Cunha against the Cubs. I'm sorry, Steve, but I gotta go with Ronald. I could throw Acuna in a lot of different places, but for the time being, I will throw him at DH. All right, now back to it. We got to think about our cap here. Second base, who do we like? And we're at 2 perfect and way over on diamonds, way over. So we're going to take Luis Robert out. That puts us at 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds. So we got to take Kim out. Got to find a new second baseman. I don't even have Albies either. Again, same thing. Had it. Don't. This is why I'm not winning. This is why I'm not winning. I'm seeing some love for Torres. Witt, I'm assuming you're talking about Merrifield. Nico Horner kind of cooled off. He went 0 for 3. Nico's been one of my guys. Where's Torres? Do I have Torres? Glaber, I do. Again, just a little bit, Larry, of starting a gold there. I'll keep him in for now. I'll keep Glaber in for now. I'm not sold on that. He did have a 2-hit night against the D-backs today. Let's get Manny out probably. Let's look at third base. Can we get our boy in? Bomb did nothing for me. Now we're looking again. Now second base. Wait, second base. The one thing we didn't do was we didn't look for our double header guys. What about Michael Bush? What's his situation? Nothing. Not even worth playing. We'll leave Glaber for now. Muncy, did you say at third? Yes, please. I will take that. Please and thank you, Max Muncy, with a doubleheader. Muncy, 3 hits in his last 2 games. Don't know how he did or if he played today. Shortstop, I've got a pretty good idea who I like on that one. Now Trey's cooling off a little bit. Let's see if he got back in the hit column. He did, 1 hit. Volpe at short. I don't have to play all Yankees, Brent. I know you're a Yankee fan from Idaho. We don't have to play all Yankees. I'm looking up Ezekiel Tovar. Tovar had 3. I'm leaning towards Tovar. Doubleheader Tovar. Let's play Dose. Anybody want to try to talk me out of it? Doubleheader's pretty nice. Doubleheader's really nice, especially if it's a silver. It doesn't count against your cap. And we are up against it a little bit. We're at our cap on diamonds. Do we want to get Juan in there? How's Juan Soto looking? Now it sounds like, did I see it's Manny who's getting surgery after the season? Manny, if you missed it, is going to be having surgery that's going to keep him out like 5 months or so. I'm going to go with with Juan in San Francisco. That's tough. Not a hitter ballpark. Any other suggestions? Oh, Chris Taylor. Durr. Look at Chris. What's he doing right now? Yeah, Chris Taylor's a must. Doubleheader. Yes, please. Center field. Let's look at the doubleheader situation. Cody Bellinger, how are we looking, my friend? You getting going again? Sacrifice fly. Man, he is not hitting the ball. Boy, Cody has cooled off. Now, I do have to remember what our rainout situation is. It was Chicago at Chicago, so we're okay. I'm throwing anybody else in. Taylor, Outman, all good starts. Well, I could throw bets in it. Well, I could throw actually Outman in the utility. Look at James Outman. Where's EVC's James Outman? So Outman's there. Center field, we are still good. How is it doing? Adolis Garcia could be. What's JT? Where is JD? Do I not have JD Martinez? How's that even possible? There it is. JD Martinez, everybody. Yes, JD's a must. We'll take Kelnick out and put JD in. Now, I do want to look at our center field situation. Thank you for that, Steve. Jared Kelnick. Let me just look at Jared and see if he's worth throwing out in center. He did have 2 ribbies in Texas. But we can have Garcia. We're good. Our cap is actually so good, in fact, that we could add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're basically sacrificing a diamond for a gold, which I have no problem with. I think this is the lineup. I think this is good. Elias Diaz, doubleheader for the Rockies in Denver. Matt Olson against the Cubs. Gleyber Torres in Toronto. Max Muncy, doubleheader in Colorado. Ezekiel Tovar, doubleheader in Colorado for the Rocks. Chris Taylor, Ibid. Adolis Garcia, who before today, I don't know how he did today or is doing today, but he's doing okay. He's actually hitting the ball pretty well as of late. And then we've got Mookie, must start. Ronald Acuna, always must start. JD Martinez, DH in Colorado. Yes, please. James Outman out in the outfield, also doubleheader. And then we got Eflin, Bradish, Thompson, and King. We are good. Submit, and submit, and then submit. Always do it multiple times. Okay, that's going to be a wrap, guys. Did everybody get their Twitch or drops? Did you get your out of the park drops? If you did not, please let me know, because we want to hook you up. We can always extend it if need be. But I think we're good, folks. We've milked this cow for all its milk. Okay, we'll go out with some packs here. We'll go until we get at least his. Oh my gosh, streamer live. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, folks. For all of you who stayed, we're gonna give you the opportunity to guess this diamond. And I have it on good authority that we can give you 10 packs if you get it right. So let me know in chat this diamond card, what's it gonna be? If you get it right, we'll give you 10 packs. All right, here we go. We got a guess for Matt Olson. We got Lindor. We got a Timmy Lincecum. We have Bichette. We have a live Goldschmidt. What else we got? Can I guess? I'm going to go with Olsen as well. I think I don't win anything. I should be eligible. Corbin Carroll. We got let's see what else. We got a couple Corbin Carroll guesses. A live Kyle Tucker. A Bellinger. And this is for 10 packs. A Clayton Kershaw. And Bellinger, Bellanger. Keep them coming. Eflin, I would love to see that again. Well, I wouldn't actually. I already got him. But I don't have a say in this. Chris Martin, McCormick. All right. I think that's enough guesses. Live Arenado. How's his shot look, by the way? Do we figure out this framing here of this thing? Monday Night Baseball. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I showed you. Go ahead and pop this up. I apologize if anything shows up that's not supposed to. But looky that, guys. Like all fancy now. Look at that thing. Oh, hey, pack rip. There we go. Pack rip. There we go. We should run that. What other options do we have here? We got cotton candy. Got a cotton candy there. We got Club 42 right there. And the wave. I can just keep going. Monday Night Baseball. Or a ballpark of your choice. Right there. We can put a little ballpark there. Okay. The guesses are in. So here we go. Back to the game. And here we go. Alrighty. And the winner is, hopefully me, Max Fried. I believe just went on the DL Max Fried. Hey, it's 4,000 points. What are you going to do? I don't think anybody did we get a guess? We did. Smush with it. Smush, congratulations. Way to go. Smush, can you let me know what your username is? We'll get you 10 packs. 10-pack Monday Night Baseball. Smush. Hey, Smushy. Smushy. Congratulations. Way to go. You nailed it. You done nailed it, kid. I'm just going to go ahead and quick sell Max Fried. I cannot use him at all this year, unfortunately. You're on the IL, and I can't use you. We can also sell our Morgan Ensberg if you need that. We'll sell it for 42 because we're all about Club 42. And Harry Wolverton, I've got you about 3,000 times. We'll send you out for 41. And a Bubba Trammell as well. Another Fred McGriff mission, and that will sell as well. Okie dokies. That is a wrap. But let me show you this. I do want one more time to thank Danny D. Smith Jr. Danny D. Smith Jr., thank you so much for choosing this matchup, guys. Danny D. Smith came up with the idea, wanted to see the 89 Giants and the 89 Cubs. If you'd be so kind, please thank Danny in chat. And if you would like to join Club 42 and choose a future Monday Night Baseball matchup, please consider following my channel, Dr. Dynastic. My name is Chat. This is me. All you have to do is click my name and then the follow button, and that's it. And then you will have followed. I'll give you a shout out right here on the Out of the Park Developments channel. In fact, anybody following right now, the alert's going to pop up, believe it or not. And it does do a pretty snazzy looking card. I'm just saying, any alerts will pop up and look pretty freaking awesome. But enough shameless self-promotion. We're all about promoting other people. And Laptop Hound beat me to it. I was going to go ahead and raid into him. But now because he said to come over, I'm not going to. I'm joking. I'm joking, Laptop Hound. Laptop Hound will be on tomorrow as well. But right now, a little hockey talk. Because I do not see anybody else streaming baseball with those pack drops. So what's better than that? Laptop Hound talking hockey. I mean, that's the best thing in the world. Let's go ahead and do that. So guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to raid on in to Laptop Hound. We love our Laptop Hound fix. Maybe a little too late for coffee with Lap, but it's never too late for hockey with Laptop Hound. All right, folks, that's a wrap here tonight. Want to thank you so much for hanging out with me, Dr. Dynastic. I will be back on tomorrow, noon Pacific, for another stream on my channel. DR Dynastic will be playing game 2 of that best of 3 Field of Dreams series between the 1989 Cubs and the 1989 Giants. We'll go ahead and let the countdown continue. We'll give you all of those drops. Oh, hang on just a sec. I rated from my channel, where 2 people are watching my channel and not on. They might be bots. We want to do Laptop Hound here. That's how you raid. Well, laptop, you're going to get a raid from my channel of 2 people on the Dr. Dynastic channel. And then you're going to get a raid of 294. 296. The count is continuing. Please, can we get up to 300? Could we possibly get 300? 298? And there we go. 300. You're going to be in very good hands with our friend Laptop Pound talking hockey. And don't forget, the folks at Out of the Park Developments make some great hockey video games as well. So if you like hockey, consider purchasing Franchise Hockey Manager as well. All right, folks, we'll let it time out so you can get all of those drops if you missed any of those silver drops. And again, tomorrow, more shenanigans for the Out of the Park Developments community. The schedule is on your screen. Tuesday, 6 p.m. It's the TBS stream. Of course, we're talking about the Brave stream with TJ Lauerman, that sports gamer. All right, guys, that's a wrap here tonight. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see you next Monday for Monday Night Baseball. Take care.